What's up, Mindfulness family? This is the Mindfulness Project from beautiful Thailand again. And today I have a topic which is very close to my heart. Because when I was a musician and we're playing mainly for on VIP parties and, big company events, and I get in contact with, just all these TV stars and musicians and politicians. And, in the beginning, I was really like Alice in Wonderland, I was like, wow, this little Christian, with all these famous people, and I got all excited. But after a time, being on one VIP event after the next, I saw that most of these people who had fame, who had money, who had, we were playing for the richest people in the world. I saw that I would say 99% of them were not happy. They had success, but they didn't have any kind of fulfillment in their life. So I was just really wondering, what is wrong? What is happiness? What really makes a difference in the life of a person? And then we started the Mindfulness Project. So then we had all these amazing people coming to us, and a lot of them have already really did quite some work on themselves. And we all know basically what we need to change to be fulfilled and happy. We just all know our shady sides, and we need we know our problems and our relationships and work and all this kind of stuff. But it seemed for most people impossible to really make a lasting change. Even if you get to know what's going on inside of you, what is really making the change in your life. So in order to change your life, you need to understand your mind. This is what all the Buddhist teachings are actually all about, that you understand what is really going on in my mind, because the problem, as you know, it's all in your mind. Two people who are, for example, coming to the Mindfulness Project, the one person goes like, oh my God, this is shit, the toilets are shit, and the sleeping arrangement is, and I have to be with 50 people, and and all this complaining. And the next person comes and says, this is paradise, this is real simplicity, and all these amazing people. So it's not the outside, it's not the circumstances which rule your life, it's the way how you look at it. And in order to understand your mind, you need to look at your brain. And this is what I would like to do today. So don't worry, it's not going to be a boring anatomic kind of talk or something like this, but it's really important that you understand what is going on. So from neuroscience, we know that every single thought you think, every emotion you have, every feeling you feel has an impact on your mind. And so in neuroscience, we say the neurons who fire together wire together. So that means you have a stimuli from the outside, and your mind is reacting in a certain way. So these neurons fire together, and there's this neurological connection. And this is happening all the time, with all your impulses, with all your feelings. And but the problem is, that whenever you repeat your habitual problematic mind states, I'm not good enough, I'm not beautiful enough, I'm always so sloppy, I'm always your judgmental mind, then you have always the same neurons fired together, and you're kind of carving misery into your own mind. So, and the questions you need to ask yourself, and this is very important, is, do you want life to change your brain, or do you want to get actively involved in the process? So, and the big question is how? This is what most people ask. because, we try so many things, and a lot of times we see even, therapy for a long, long time. Sometimes it works, but, the lasting change which brings you to the state of fulfillment, of happiness, of, radiant ecstasy, there's a lot of times not there if we are honest to each other. So, the next thing you need to understand is that there are two circuits in your brain. The one they call the activation state, and the other one is kind of the default state of your mind. So if you are in the activated state of your mind, these are the moments where you are creative, where you have these states of flow, where you are concentrated when you are with a task, and we see that these flow states are connected with happiness. Creativity is connected with, this feelings of ecstasy and expression and stuff like this. And the other network, this is all our automatic pilot, basically. The default state is this daydreaming, this, wanting something different, and, just reacting on your instincts of your learned habitual pattern and so forth. So, and what you need to understand is, how do we get into this activating mode? And, because this is where the magic is happening, and the mind is fucking magic. Because they have made a research with people who learn to become taxi drivers in London. These crazy streets in London. And so they were learning for weeks and weeks, all these streets and connections and how to get from A to B. And they measured the brain before and after the training. And they could see that in these little weeks, the brain, which is responsible for visual memory, was growing tremendously. So that means their focus of attention was on that part of the brain, and it starts to grow. So it's that magic. So, and the question is, what is your overall focus in life? Because, and that's now that's the key point of the whole thing. The change is made if you can control the focus of your attention. Again, the key point is, if you can control the focus of your attention, because where the focus of your attention goes, this is where your life goes. So in the case of the taxi drivers, they were focusing on visualization all the time. So that part of the brain starts to develop and become super potent. So, and they did the same research with people who did a loving kindness meditation retreat and focused on their heart and compassion, for 2 weeks. And in only 2 weeks, that part of the brain became super potent. So, the question is, how do we get again and again into the activation state and then choose the focus of our attention to what we want? And the problem is that a lot of people come to me and say, Christian, I don't really have a clear vision for my life. I don't know where I want to go. I'm kind of like a nutshell in the ocean. When a wave comes from the left, I'm drifting in that way. If it comes from the other side, I'm drifting. So what you need is a clear vision of what is important for me. Where do I want to bring my energy? And I don't mean jobs. I don't mean goals achieving or something like this. It's more which qualities of the heart is actually my focus of attention, and then making that the focus of attention. So, and the key is also to look at, which of my focus of attention is fueled by fear. Because a lot of times, people think, even very successful people, even these actors, they think they are living the life they want to live, but in reality, it's fueled by fear. So if you have, through your childhood, through your upbringing, you grow up with this feeling of not being good enough, not being okay, then, you develop this intense need for being appreciated by others and, liked by others. And that is leading you to, maybe becoming an actor, just seeking approval from the outside, becoming super powerful, having financial means. A lot of times these successful people are not fulfilled because their focus of attention is based on their fear that if they don't have money, if they cannot rule other people, then they are not fulfilled. So their whole life is based on fear instead of, infused by their visions and their wantings. And then it's impossible to get happy. So we made this awesome worksheet for you. You can download it on our Patreon page. Link is below. And so in order to get a really, really clear vision, you see there is a whole list of different values. And if you find some which are really, really important for you, you can also add it. So this is not complete. And what you do is, it's really cool. You choose 12 of these. So you choose 12 of these values. All right, begin again. Okay, guys, we made this awesome how to change your mind worksheet. You can download it on our Patreon page. Link is below. And on this worksheet, you'll find a lot of values, because what we would like to do is to bring you to your core values and to find a little bit the vision for your life. And so this list might not be complete, so you can add your own ones if you don't find them on this list. And what you do is you choose 12 of these values which are closest to your heart. So just read through them and just mark which is just immediately touching you. What is just really important for me. And try to make it based on your feelings, not on your mind, not what you think would suit you or what would be cool if you would have this value, but just what is really in your heart. So, and what you do then is these 12 which you have found, then you just put into the list below. And what you do then is that you compare the first one with the second, and you see maybe it's love and wisdom, and then you see, is love actually more important for me or wisdom? If it's love, love gets a point. So then you compare the first one with the third and with the fourth and with the fifth. So you go through the whole list and you always give points to that which is in this combination the more important. And then in the end you will have, a score of what are actually your most important values. So, and then you write them down on the next sheet here, my center of attention for 2021. And, you have 1, 2, 3. And what you do then is you take maybe the back of the page, and then you just really go inside and have a look, which of my actual focus of attention, where my energy goes the most, which is fueled by fear. So, just make a list and just write down where you have the feeling, this and this thing is what I'm doing because of fear. I'm fear of not having enough money, not being secure, not, fear of being alone, and, all this kind of things. And then the most important 3 fears you also write down on the second page. And then think about what could you substitute it with. So, for example, if it's your fear of loneliness, so if thoughts of this loneliness is coming up, what could you move your mind towards that you don't have these neurons firing all the time, fear, oh my God, maybe people don't like me or something like this. And it's very important to not do the mistake to only go to the opposite. So that you just go like, oh, I hope people don't like me, and then you go like, oh, I want to focus on, people liking me, and then you're dreaming and dreaming about how it would be different. But instead, you could focus in these moments on gratitude, for example. Gratitude for the friendships you have. Gratitude for, the things which are beautiful in your life. So that it's because a lot of times when you try to influence your subconsciousness by going to the opposite, your subconsciousness go like, sure, like everybody loves us and we will be the superhero and we will save people and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. So do this worksheet, and then the next week I will do a meditation where we are using these kind of values and try to use the power of meditation to really make a lasting change in your mind and just really deeply root these kind of core values in your system, so that your focus of attention is on that alone. And I give you a hint. I just want to, talk a little bit about my own experience and what you can see from, the evolution of the human mind. We can see that 98 to 99% of the DNA of humans are absolutely identical with the DNA of the apes, of the chimpanzees, for example. So, and the 1 to 2% difference in the DNA is mainly in our brain, and especially the parts which are responsible for human connection and love, basically. So the evolution of the humans from the apes to being humans was not that we were able to take up things and make them into tools. The main difference is not, that we are developing from the jungles into the African desert, but it's all about relationship. And I think this evolution of the human mind is still going on. We can see that there's still so much confusion in how we relate to ourselves, how we relate to other people, how we relate as a nation to other nations. Not done yet. And the question is, can we make that which makes us human? Can we make that what means to be human into the focus of our attention? And when we go through the day, shifting the center of our attention towards that which really matter. So that means that you focus on joy, that you focus on fulfillment, that you really ask yourself in every moment, what would fulfill me in this moment? And, take your core values, just really look, what can I do in this moment? If, your core value is love, what can I do to bring more love into my life? And, do that on a moment-to-moment base in the same way like taxi drivers are learning for their exam to become taxi drivers. You need to bring some force, some energy into it. And, I would like to read the Buddhist teachings about that, because the Buddha was very clear what he, was advising people. And, there was a moment where some monks were coming to him and said, look, we are supposed to be alone, and, dwelling in the forest and stuff like this is so dangerous. We have so many fears and so many difficulties and hardship. And what the Buddha was teaching then was that he said, just as a mother loves and protects her only child at the risk of her own life, so we should cultivate boundless love to offer to all living beings in the entire cosmos. Let our boundless love pervade the whole universe, above, below, and across. Our love will know no obstacles. Our heart will be absolutely free from hatred and enmity, whether standing or walking, sitting or lying, as long as we are awake. We should maintain this mindfulness of love in our own heart. This is the noblest way of living. So again, we should maintain this mindfulness of love in our own heart. So that means that the key is to focus the center of your attention and to be able to choose it. And this is what we are learning in meditation. This is why it is so important to do the practice again and again, not only on your cushion, but in your daily life. Keep love, keep compassion, keep just being compassionate with everybody who has a different opinion about coronavirus, about politics. We are so divided right now, and it's time to make peace in your own heart. Thank you, and enjoy your week. See you next week.